The big story tonight is the debut of democracy in South Africa. For generations, blacks in South Africa could only dream of being able to vote. Today, those dreams became a reality. The first all-race elections in South African history are underway, ending the oppression of apartheid and sending that nation onto a road of truly representative government. The days leading up to today's vote have been marked by violence, but it appears the spirit of democracy is prevailing. Votes are being cast, calm is being maintained, and history is being made. I'm Carmen Harlan. In a moment, we'll take you live to South Africa for the latest on this historic vote.
I'm Mort Crim. Also making headlines on this Tuesday evening, a devastating airline crash in Japan has killed more than 250 people. We'll have the latest from the scene. We'll also show you what a killer tornado did in Texas, and Chuck Gatica will show you from the scene how that killer storm formed. And we'll have the latest on the Kevorkian trial. These stories and more right now on the News Beat.
And now, with Mort Crim and Carmen Harlan, this is News Beat at 5.
It is a great moment indeed, and I share the feelings and the hopes and the dreams of many South Africans for this opportunity.
A change is sweeping across South Africa tonight, and it's not coming from chains or guns or any kind of weapons. It's a historic change coming from the ballot box of democracy. Good evening. The big story tonight is one for the history books. The world is watching the debut of democracy in South Africa. The land once ruled by the oppression of apartheid is tasting democratic order. The Newsbeat's coverage now takes us live to Johannesburg, South Africa, where reporter Renee Ferguson is there with the latest on this election.
Good evening. People left the polls here with tears and cheers and talk of a new South Africa. After 2 days of violence, today's voting went without major incident. On this day in South Africa, those with more and those with less shared a moment of equality.
I'm excited, and I just hope everybody feels the way I do.
It is a good idea at last.
Today was election day for those in hospitals, the disabled, and for the elderly. In the Dubé section of Soweto, those who had waited longest for apartheid to end were first.
I feel just like when I was born by my mother. Now I can retire to heaven.
I voted for the first time in my life. Oh, I'm so pleased.
2 days of bomb blasts, 21 deaths, 150 injured could not stop the country's march towards democracy.
Today is a day like no other before it. Voting in our first free and fair election has begun. Today marks the dawn of our freedom.
We are on cloud 9, and our people say, hey, we have crossed the Red Sea and we are on our way into the promised land. All of us, black and white together.
More than 100,000 police and army troops were deployed to protect voters.
The election will ring in a new era for South Africa, an era of reconciliation.
And so it ended, day one, with people voting their hopes, their dreams, their aspirations, with people voting their right to vote. The problems that did occur happened in rural areas. There was disarray in the Zulu homeland because Mr. Buthelezi entered the election so late. But there are 2 more days for them to work out the logistics. Reporting from Johannesburg, Renee Ferguson. Back to you.
Thank you, Renee. There are reports of problems in this first true nationwide election in South Africa. One party says there's a problem with the delivery of stickers, which add the party's name to the bottom of the ballot. Carmen?
Arrangements were made in this South African election for absentee voting, and South Africans currently living in the United States went to consulates to vote today. On Michigan Avenue in Chicago, we found 2 South Africans currently living in Detroit. They made it clear their choice for president is Nelson Mandela.
I trust him. I know the NC can do a lot. They bring the future for our people, especially for the young people, because they are the leaders of the country.
I voted for Nelson Mandela. Everybody who has common sense
we'll vote for Nelson Mandela.
And how do you feel? I mean, this is the first time in your life that
I feel exhilarated, I feel very, very happy, and I feel a momentum and a change in the whole structure of South Africa.
The South African consulate in Chicago is the nearest location for South Africans in the Detroit area to vote. Well, you heard that one young South African voter say this historic election is especially important to the young people of that nation. But the significance goes beyond South Africa's borders. The Newsbeat's Paula Tutman found students in a Detroit school geography class with a keen interest in this historic vote.
Thank you. While South Africans are making history an ocean away, students here are discussing it in great detail.
The Dutch came to South Africa in the 1600s looking for a country to call their own. When they got there, they called themselves Afrikaners.
The blood being shed on the road to freedom in South Africa is felt here at the Marcus Garvey Academy in Detroit. At this school, the lesson is not what's happening to them. Here the lesson is what's happening to us.
Well, I think it will help my people a lot because they are just getting the right to vote today. So we've been fighting for that right for so long. I think they're finally getting it.
Black people had to fight to vote here, and they're doing the same thing over in South Africa. And it's exciting that they're just getting it right. You know, that they're getting what they want.
It's 75% blacks in South Africa and 25% whites, so a black person should be a president.
It's not just the right to vote, although that's a big issue. The self-government, being able to make your own decisions, being able to live free, being able to go into town and buy some goods.
The people deserve to have the freedom that they've been so long denied for 40 years because we've had our freedom that we fought for, and they fought for so long. So I'm glad that they're getting their freedom now. I'm glad that Nelson Mandela's becoming president because he might change the things that they have to go through.
In this geography class, ideas are exchanged freely. Students pay close attention and even take notes, particularly when it comes to the hardest part of the lesson.
It's just a little light at the end of a long tunnel. They have a long way to go, but this is like the first major step in them having their freedom.
Paula Tutman, Newsbeat.
At the Marcus Garvey Academy, the students are encouraged to view the South African elections as less of a black issue and more of a human rights issue. As this historic election continues to unfold in South Africa, the Newsbeat will continue to bring you the latest. We'll have more on the voting, the returns, and the results over the next 3 days right here on the Newsbeat.